they're going to be mad. They're going to be mad. The slower ones, as many like to refer to them as, they're going to be angry. Why? Because, well, Sports Illustrated, much to the chagrin of Sheila Johnson, the owner of the Mystics, the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, and the gang is on the WNBA preview issue of Sports Illustrated.
That is fire.
And now the reveal for everyone waiting.
Just beautiful. Beautiful with the color. Love it. That's it.
Caitlin Clark just landed the Sports Illustrated cover with the Indiana Fever, while Angel Reese is out here flipping tables like it's WrestleMania. Did someone forget to tell her this is basketball, not reality TV? From magazine covers to media meltdowns, we've got all the spicy drama, salty tears, and championship-level shade. Is this the start of a new sports dynasty? Or just the pettiest feud since middle school dodgeball? Stick around, because this one's messier than a halftime Gatorade spill, and Angel Reese is in full meltdown mode.
Just being efficient, and just being able to be myself. Like I was saying, like not worrying about anything else but me, and just trust the process. It's not going to happen overnight. Like, don't be expecting me to come down and shoot 6-7 threes a night. Like, obviously that's what I'm working on, but like.
Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's latest and greatest franchise investment, has once again pulled off the unthinkable, being both competent and incredibly likable. That's right, two qualities that sometimes feel rarer in the WNBA than sold out arenas. Now she's gracing the cover of Sports Illustrated, not in a bikini, not as some airbrushed fantasy, but as herself. In full uniform, ball in hand, all poise and precision. No gimmicks, no hashtags about haters, just talent, confidence, and authenticity. It's almost as if being great at basketball is enough. Who knew that alone could still land you a magazine cover?
Are you talking about? Well, we're talking about America's team, and I can't help but to get all patriotic. When we're talking about America's team, I can't help but to feel all red, white, and blue inside the Indiana Fever Grace WNBA Preview 2025 Sports Illustrated cover.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese? Oh, she's tucked away in her own corner of the internet like it's a personal VIP lounge, head to toe in designer drama, emotionally accessorized with yet another round of "they just don't understand me" monologues. Her fan base, once loud, loyal, and ready to throw virtual hands for her, is now slowly moonwalking out of the digital room, confused and uncomfortable, like they just walked into a very public family meltdown at the local Applebee's. You know. The kind. Someone's aunt crying over mozzarella sticks while the uncle yells about respect. Yeah, that kind of energy.
The Indiana Fever make the cover of Sports Illustrated, and there's plenty of content that came along with it.
Yeah, we, starting this week, a WNBA team on the cover of Sports Illustrated for the first time in a really long time. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, super excited about that.
Do you know how long it's been?
So, a couple years ago, we had a selection of players on the cover, but not just like one team. Like we had Candace Parker and Asia and Sue Bird, and then we've had like one-off W players as solo covers. But I don't think we have ever had a team just being covered as a team for like, this was an interesting offseason, what happened, what comes next, ever. So I was very excited to get to work on that, and yeah, stay tuned for that.
Let's not pretend we didn't see this coming. The moment Caitlin Clark's face hit the cover of Sports Illustrated, the entire energy in the women's basketball universe shifted, like tectonic plates under a PR earthquake. Angel Reese reportedly started sighing with such force and frequency that meteorologists are still recalibrating their instruments. Local weather patterns didn't stand a chance. One minute it's sunny skies, the next, it's a full-blown thunderstorm of shade, pouring down in the form of Instagram captions laced with cryptic song lyrics, passive-aggressive emojis, and enough all-caps outrage to warrant a federal investigation into the vibes.
Fever team, that's right. A lot of reaction coming in. Let's just take a look at the cover right here. Kelsey, Malia, Caitlin, Luana Bonner. It's an awesome cover. It really is. I'm not going to even kid you. It's an awesome cover, and there's a lot of reaction to this that's floating in right now from fans, as you can expect. And the WNBA did, to their credit, actually share this, because with them, you never know. They've done what I think has been a better job of propping up their biggest star and showcasing their biggest star. Man, there's going to be a lot of hate on this. There's going to be a lot of mad mother effers out there, and I am here for it. I am here for it. Right here, the quote.
You see, Angel Reese was promised a narrative. She was promised main character energy, the kind of spotlight that makes you the WNBA's Beyoncé. But then along comes Caitlin Clark with her clean game, Midwest manners, and casual 30-point nights like she's just trying to stay warm. And boom, storylines flip like a bad pancake. Now instead of headlines screaming, Reese runs the league, we've got Clark changes the game, while Angel is somewhere off camera, frantically trying to change the font on her next social media post so it screams injustice in cursive. There's something beautifully ironic about the fact that Caitlin Clark just keeps playing basketball and somehow ends up everywhere, while Angel Reese seems to have taken on a full-time role as the league's unofficial public relations nemesis. One is earning respect with threes and assists, the other is hoarding microphones like they're limited edition Jordans.
Caitlin Clark, Kent, the big four for the Indiana Fever dream. There's much more to the W's most watched team than the Caitlin Clark show. We're not even going to get into the headline. I'm not going to take off my glasses, raise the people's eyebrow, put back on the people's glasses. I'm not even going to do that. We're not even going to do that. Salute to the Indiana Fever, and salute to the Indiana Fever front office for launching this.
Let's talk about the actual Sports Illustrated cover. It wasn't just a photo. It was a declaration. Caitlin stood there like she had casually reversed the gravitational pull of women's sports, while the headline basically whispered, "This is what happens when you back it up with talent." No pout in sight. No 5-part docuseries about being misunderstood. Just excellence, polished and undeniable. And if you listen closely, you can almost hear the sound of yet another smoke detector going off in Angel's PR department. Because, let's face it, nobody throws a tantrum with the finesse and theatrical flourish of Angel Reese. Her post-game interviews have more plot twists than a Shonda Rhimes pilot. One moment she's laser-focused on the team, the next she's delivering a monologue that sounds like she just got rejected from America's Got Talent, and is taking it personally. To be fair, she's consistent. If consistency were a WNBA stat, she'd lead the league in off-court dramatics and side-eye per 36 minutes.
So the latest issue of Sports Illustrated is out, and the Indiana Fever are gracing its cover, saying there is much more to the W's most watched team than the Caitlin Clark show. I kind of love that they included Dewana Bonner in this cover because she is an integral member of the team. And about a month ago, there was a video going around that Kelsey Mitchell had posted, just some random video of all of them in their red, rebel red uniform. And everyone on social media was like, what is going on? Did they get new uniforms? And you could tell that they were at a park, and it ends up that they were shooting the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Of course, her fans are out here performing Cirque-level mental gymnastics, claiming the real reason she's not on the cover is media bias. Because, that ever-elusive force that magically appears whenever someone doesn't get their way. Caitlin Clark didn't make the cover because she's good? No, it must be a conspiracy. Quick, someone call Scooby-Doo. We've got a mystery on our hands. You know what's not a mystery? Clark putting up numbers that could fund an entire analytics department. This woman shoots from 30 feet like she's ordering coffee. Her passes are so sharp they could shave ice. Her court vision? It's like she's using Google Maps while everyone else is still asking for directions from strangers. She plays with that dangerous combo of confidence and humility that says, "I'll break your ankles," and then apologizes politely for the inconvenience. Meanwhile, Angel's brand strategy seems inspired by Real Housewives reunion specials. There's drama, there's crying, there's the occasional thrown object, metaphorically, we hope. And there's always, a you don't know what I've been through subplot. It's giving full-on reality TV energy.
You can see here the Indiana Fever will be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I believe it's out. I'm actually going to run over to the local Barnes & Noble here in a little bit and see if I can get a copy if it's still there. They actually still make magazines, I believe. But anyway, as you can see, Sports Illustrated WNBA preview issue. Very cool cover, I have to say. Very cool cover. I know that you're going to get people be like, well, why is it just those four? Where's Sophie Cunningham? And on and on. You know the thing. But it's a cool cover. Okay? The more people you have, the smaller they get on that. I got to say, for the WNBA preview, when you're talking about the Indiana Fever, I'm glad that it's not just Caitlin Clark. I think this was a smart decision, actually, by Sports Illustrated, which has been was an iconic, incredible magazine for so long.
Let's not ignore the absolute comedic goldmine that is Angel Reese posting yet another cryptic Instagram story. Because apparently, every emoji is now a political statement, and every vaguely emotional song lyric is a coded cry for validation. One day, it's a broken heart and a Rihanna lyric. The next, it's a black screen with the words, "They'll see soon," followed by 12 eye emojis. Sis, calm down. It's basketball season, not the finals of a spoken word poetry slam. We're not decoding hieroglyphics. We're just trying to figure out if you're subbing your coach, your teammates, or the cafeteria menu. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is over here casually dropping 30-point triple-doubles like it's a light cardio workout. She's not crying for respect. She's earning it, stat by stat. ESPN anchors run out of superlatives. She's unstoppable, they gush. A generational talent, they scream. The face of women's basketball, they declare as their thesauruses. Catch fire from overuse. And somewhere behind the chaos, Angel's publicist is smashing a keyboard in a panic. Resend the press release, but add 3 exclamation marks and a crying emoji. Maybe 2 crying emojis. Make it emotional.
Going to be a lot of bad mother effers out there, and I am here for it. I am here for it. Right here, the quote, should have put the whole WNBA on it. People are gonna be pissed. They are indeed. Yeah, somebody brought up her shoes she's wearing. Caitlin Clark's shoes. Man, they're sick. Oh, that's red Kobe's. Mambas. Man, I like that. I do.
The reactions are textbook. And by textbook, we mean straight out of Drama for Dummies. Some fans are screaming, Angel brings fire, which is technically true. If your definition of fire includes post-game monologues that could double as audition tapes for a reality TV show called Survivor, WNBA edition. These aren't your run-of-the-mill, we played hard interviews. No, Angel's post-game sound bites come with plot twists, side-eye, and just enough tension to qualify as emotional thrillers. The phrase emotional damage could be subtitled across half her press conferences, and honestly, it would track. But defenders of the chaos claim she's passionate. Sure, passion is great. Passion scores points, leads locker rooms, and lights the proverbial fire under teammates. But let's not pretend there isn't a fine line between genuine passion and full-blown performative chaos. One kind of passion rallies the troops. The other gets your quotes screenshotted by WNBA Twitter with the caption, "Girl, what?" One is the spark in the huddle. The other is why half your team keeps their AirPods in during warm-ups. You decide which one's in play here.
While many people were asking questions, wait, Slam Magazine, Mercury Rising, why don't you have the Fever Rising on this? You know how many copies of this magazine you would sell? Well, yeah, we have Caitlin Clark's name on the cover, but the Fever Rising need to be on the cover. It seems as if the schedules, they were all booked up that day. Yeah, we had Time Magazine to take care of, we had Nike to take care of, we had this to take care of. Oh, we had a Gamebridge event that day. Sorry, Slam, couldn't make it. Slam Magazine, Sports Illustrated. I guess I'll go Sports Illustrated. I guess we'll go to Sports Illustrated. The Big Four, folks, the Big Four.
Meanwhile, over in Indiana, the Caitlin Clark train is chugging full steam ahead, and no one's even pretending to be subtle about it. The Fever social media team is operating like proud parents at a middle school science fair, posting every ows, assist, every smile, every hair flip like it's the second coming of Sue Bird. You can practically hear the caption team going, "Look, she dribbled, iconic." And honestly, why shouldn't they? Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's putting butts in seats, jerseys on backs, shopping carts in motion, and opposing teams into emergency defensive meetings. The girl sneezes and it trends. She's not just a player. She's an ecosystem. Overnight, arenas that once echoed like empty warehouses are now packed wall to wall with screaming fans eager for a glimpse of greatness. And maybe a TikTok moment. She's single-handedly transforming the WNBA from a league too often underappreciated into a headline, dominating, must-watch spectacle. And not in the oh no, what now way. No, this is the sellout kind of spectacle. The good kind. The kind that gets sponsors fighting over ad slots and scalpers having their best summer since Beyoncé's last tour. So yes, Angel might bring fire, but Caitlin's bringing the heat that pays the bills.
The article has like a lot of stuff that we pretty much already know because everyone covers like Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever like nothing else in the WNBA. But there is one excerpt that was kind of fun, and of course it's about her getting stronger, and it's about her arms and her weight gain and her in the weight room. But the funny thing about this excerpt is that she went to try her jersey on, and she thought that it actually got smaller, and it goes, Clark's top priority was getting stronger. She hit the weight room 4 times a week. The change was pronounced enough that when given her uniform for the photo shoot with Sports Illustrated, Clark asked if it was a smaller jersey than one she wore last year. Same size, replied the equipment manager. You're filling out more. And she worked to complement that strength, better finishing ability, etc., developing a floater.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese's public relations strategy seems to involve more deflections than a 4th-string NBA center caught in a pick-and-roll nightmare. It's not about me, she proclaims with the conviction of someone who's just printed out 1,000 posters of herself. She utters the phrase like a mantra, but every time she says it, the spotlight somehow swings right back to her, like a glitter-covered boomerang. One moment, she's dodging questions. The next, she's subtweeting. Then she's front and center, on every social feed, posing like the misunderstood anti-hero in a sports drama no one asked for. It's practically performance art at this point, and we haven't even gotten to the actual basketball yet. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, is out here, doing the basketball equivalent of manual labor. She's logging heavy minutes, getting triple-teamed like she's hiding national secrets, getting smacked around like a piñata at a toddler's birthday party, and still managing to drop 25 points a night with the calm precision of a hitman. On salary. The woman is putting in work, the kind that used to earn you a statue or at least a decent shoe deal. And what's Reese doing? Averaging more headlines than points.
Interesting for me, no matter how this season goes, I want to be fair, is the Indiana Fever did a couple of things that I think are absolutely amazing that I'm going to give them props to, despite how it turns out, because there's always a risk. Y'all have heard me talk many times about my Eagles and what an incredible GM Howie Roseman is. That doesn't mean everything he does has worked out, right? That's impossible. We can't tell the future. But the changes they made, they realized, hey, you know what? After this rookie year, and it has to come from the top. Ultimately, it came from the top.
But here's the kicker. Caitlin Clark doesn't even have to clap back. She doesn't subtweet. She doesn't give side eyes during press conferences. She doesn't throw shade. She just shows up, plays ball, signs autographs, and smiles like the entire world isn't unraveling behind her in passive-aggressive group chats. That's the real burn, because nothing drives your rivals crazier than your silence, especially when that silence is backed by box scores, magazine covers, and endorsement deals stacked higher than a WNBA vertical leap. Angel's out here demanding respect, while Caitlin's quietly earning it. It's like watching someone beg for applause during the previews while the actual movie hasn't even started yet. The best part? The fans have picked up on it. Fever. Games are looking like Coachella, while Reese's team is trying to sell tickets with free bobbleheads and prayers. People aren't just showing up for Clark. They're staying for her. She's turning doubters into diehards, while Angels turning teammates into hostages in a drama they didn't sign up for.
But this is still a huge flex, and they are being viewed as kind of like America's team. And there's so much really fun behind the scenes stuff. I mean, Caitlin Clark is totally a joker. Exhibit A. And no, it doesn't just end there.
At this point, it feels like Angel Reese is still stuck in a one-sided rivalry with Caitlin Clark, who, by the way, has already moved on to bigger things in the WNBA. Meanwhile, Angel's still acting like Clark's success is some kind of personal insult. The irony? Reese could be thriving. She has the talent, the platform, and the spotlight. But instead of rising with it, she's busy playing defense against someone who isn't even in the same league anymore. Literally. It's like every time Clark breaks another record or nails a clutch shot, Angel takes it as a direct attack on her legacy. Girl, it's not that deep. Maybe channel that passion into throwing more assists, scoring more points, or, winning games. Because while Caitlin is already impacting the pros and filling arenas, Angel seems more invested in drama than development. At some point, you've got to ask, is she competing or just complaining? The game has moved on.
Shoot. Was it asking?
Yes.
Wow. I was asking a lot. Tell me when. Am I trying to make it? All right.
Maybe it's time Angel did too. As Sports Illustrated proudly plaster Caitlin Clark's face across newsstands like she's the undisputed queen of basketball, because, let's be honest, she kind of is, Angel Reese is somewhere meticulously choreographing a TikTok dance to the moody soundtrack of No One Understands Me, probably in slow motion, probably with deep, dramatic lighting, probably captioned with something like, "They only love you when you're winning," because nothing says misunderstood icon like a filter and a soft piano melody. But here's the truth. Hard, hilarious, and dripping with reality. Caitlin Clark didn't steal Angel Reese's spotlight. She didn't beg for it, borrow it, or sneak in the back door wearing a disguise. She built a bigger one, brick by brick, game by game, record by record. And while some are still busy rewriting the script and crying over who got top billing, Clark's already flipping to the next chapter, where she keeps doing what she always does, winning, consistently, quietly, brilliantly, no tantrums, no cryptic quotes, just buckets, leadership, and a work ethic that doesn't need a ring light. And that, folks, is how you earn a cover story. Not with drama, but with dominance.